Hello, I am Kelly, and I have missed going live, so I thought I would go live this morning. Hello, Rebecca. Thanks for coming. If anyone doesn't know, Rebecca is now the one who is reading the Outschool and other updates. Since I went back to work full time, I haven't been able to do it. She has 3 young kids, one being a baby, so I think she just goes live whenever she has time, no set time. Right, Rebecca? There was one Outschool email that came up since she last went live 2 days ago. Although when I was looking over it, a lot of it was repeat information. So I think Outschool repeats their information a lot just to make sure you got the message. We'll do a little teacher chat at the end. I know it's Saturday, so not everybody's always, around on Saturdays, but I am here for, or maybe people will watch this later. I might make it unlisted later, but even if it's unlisted, if it's on the Facebook pages, people should be able to get to it. Let's start with, we're going to start with, I'm going to talk about VIPKID as well, but let's start with Outschool. Yes, while this is loading, I'll just tell you one thing I was going to do if I continued online teaching this spring was to get a new computer because this one is so slow. But then since I went back to work full time anyway and wasn't going to be online teaching as much, I never did. That's why sometimes I have tech problem. Maybe for, there's always good deals around Black Friday. All right, giving parents the option to pause. Rebecca went over this in her last live video, so I'm only going to skim over it, but it's basically allows parents to stay in your ongoing classes and just pause instead of either you refunding them or them staying in and still paying or having to unsubscribe and resubscribe, and then sometimes they don't always resubscribe. This is a great option. Bringing clarity to payouts. Again, Rebecca went over this in her live. So this is just about how now multi-day classes can be billed more like ongoing. And tell me if I'm correct, Rebecca, but I think it also, you can do the same with ongoing being more like multi-day. They're almost becoming like the same kind of class because they used to be totally different because with ongoing, you could jump in and out, and in the multi-day classes, they build, and now they're kind of becoming one and the same because you can jump in and out of the multi-day as well. Weekly payments launching for parents. So this is kind of, this is payouts and weekly payments. That's kind of what I was just talking about. Zoom waiting rooms are changing. Zoom recently released an update that combines waiting for the host screen and classroom waiting room to just be one screen. Interesting. Okay. There are no changes to the learner verification process for educators, but heads up that learners may notice things look a little different when they update their Zoom software. So I know, Rebecca, I know your daughter takes classes on Outschool. Have you noticed that? All right, let me stop share, see what you guys are saying. I like those ideas, but there will be kinks, right, for the new payment process at Outschool. All right, so VIPKID came up with this content creator bootcamp. Did you see that? And also, I thought about trying them this summer. I don't know if any of you watched Kristen's classroom, but her recent video, she kind of showed what was going on with VIPKID. And now I don't even remember, but something she said made me want to try VIPKID out again. And she made a good point, and I agree, is that she's keeping VIPKID, and so am I. I don't teach with them at all anymore, but keep your contract current. So if any time you just needed to open slots and you needed money, you totally could. I have seen that Zoom screen, and when I Zoom with non-Outschool people, okay? All right, and let me share this about VIPKID Content Creator Bootcamp. And the only reason I decided to go ahead and do this bootcamp, number one, it's free. Number two, this is the type of thing I've been wanting to learn anyway. So they were offering it. I was like, sure, I'll sign up. I cannot tell you how much Think Media I've been watching. I've been watching more Think Media since I stopped doing videos than I was when I actually was doing videos. I'll talk about that in a minute, but this is kind of the same kind of stuff. So this is the Content Creator Bootcamp. We're offering a bootcamp orientation via Zoom, Thursday the 13th at 7 p.m. I did not go to that. Did anybody? So then I guess you can watch the replay. So I can go do that. I did join this Facebook group. Keep an eye out for information. So they're basically teaching you how to do online things. Some of the stuff we may already know if you've already been doing YouTube, but more new things as well. Like what kind of content. They have a lot of video stuff and like basic video, things you need to know, which if you've been on YouTube for a while, you already know that stuff, but also thumbnails, how to make searchable terms and things like that. So I went ahead and joined since it was free. I also joined Think Media's. They have like a 3-day boot camp. I also joined that. Kristen's Classroom, her paid YouTube membership also was teaching that kind of thing. And that was only $5 a month. I didn't join this month, but I'm going to join in the summer when I have time to watch the videos. I need to make sure my VIP contract is current. From my understanding, now that they are kind of so desperate for people, they're keeping it current for you. Like you don't have to do anything as long as you don't, quit on your own, like write them a letter and tell them you're going to quit or an email. Like it stays active. You no longer have to sign something every month. So that's my understanding, just to do nothing and it's still good. I think I did delete the VIPKID app from either my phone or my iPad because I was like, I needed space and I was like, hey, I don't really use this anymore. But if I went active again, I could always just open it up. Maybe even this summer I could try some classes. I still don't like that they pay less than they used to. And they, with the economy, everything's costing more and you're getting paid less. Yeah. So I also, in addition, I wanted to shout out some China channels. So Rebecca already knows this, but in case somebody's watching who doesn't know this channel started off in ESL teaching. And way back when it started 4 years ago, we were all teaching ESL in China to VIPKID, GoGoKid, a few other platforms. And I still teach one of my students in China every Saturday independently. I actually taught her this morning. So I did keep one VIPKID student. Rebecca, do you teach in China anywhere? Like some people teach on Outschool and I've heard they have Chinese students. I was doing Budbee, that's in South Korea. But anyways, because of my time in China or teaching in China and actually knowing people who live in China, I have an interest in what's going on in China because of these people that I know. And there's a lot going on in the news in China these days. And let's see what Rebecca's saying. ESL companies are paying less. I know that discourages me from wanting to work there. But you can disagree with the government in China and you can separate that from the people in China, which I do. Like I realized after getting to know true people in China and still knowing people in China that they're victims of their government. I mean, you could have been born anywhere. I could have been born anywhere. We didn't get to choose where we were born. You could have been born in China. You could have been born in North Korea. You could have been born in a third world country just as easily as you could have been born in the United States. So the more I get to know people in China, it's separate from the government in China. Like the one-child policy that they had, well, that was forced on them. People didn't want to do that. They don't have freedom of speech like we do. They don't have all the things that we have. And I don't know, so much is going on in China. So I wanted to shout out some channels that if you want to keep up with what is going on in China, here's some really good channels to keep up with. All right. Let me start with China Uncensored. This is kind of done in a news kind of format, you know, like you'd be watching the news. He kind of has some like dry humor. He'll throw in a joke sometimes. And if you didn't like know he was telling the joke, you wouldn't always know. Some of his stuff does get censored by YouTube because of the content of China. So he also has a Patreon. But then come over here. Wait, let me first scroll through some of it, like, so you can see some of the things that he also has a channel called America Uncensored, which I realized later. So come over here to channels on China Uncensored, and he has other channels that are regarding China as well. Here's China Unscripted, America Uncovered, so kind of like things going on. Gamers Unbeaten. Let me explain that channel. So basically, some of the content that he does on China it can be very violent because violent things are happening in China. And then his stuff gets demonetized or taken down. And then he noticed that gaming channels had very violent things on them, but their stuff wasn't being taken down. Doesn't make any sense, right? So he made this channel called Gamers Unbeaten. It's basically a gaming channel, but it's undercover, a channel really about what's going on in China under the guise of a gaming channel, because then he can tell you about the violent things that are happening without getting demonetized. Because, hey, gamer channels have violent things and they're not getting demonetized. Very smart. Love that. And then as you can see, he has some channels in other languages. Okay, I'm going to share another channel with you. Okay. So this was called the China Show. Every Friday night, these two guys, they go live. I was watching them last Friday night. As you can see, they just go live and talk. Here, most of their live streams are approximately 2 hours long. So let me tell you both of their stories. Here, the guy on the left, he is actually from South Africa. And then the guy on the right's from America. I think I kind of got, you know, I listened to their show, but you pick up parts of their personal life. They're always together. So I think the guy who's originally from South Africa now lives in America. I don't know. That's neither here nor there. Both of them actually went to China, lived there for a good amount of years, like 14 years or something like that. They are both married to Chinese women. So they have a vested interest in China, love China. They used to do videos where they would just go around on a motorcycle and show adventures and the countryside and things like that. So they have insider information. I mean, they lived in China, so they actually know how it is and how things work from firsthand experience. So then when they go live to talk about these current events, they also talk to people in China on WeChat. They have, you know, other sources that they know of from just living in China. And so they give a real insider's view from speaking to people in China, not just what you're going to hear from the Chinese government putting out their propaganda of what they want you to know about their news. They have real insider. So they also have come over here to channels, and you can see their other channels. China Fact Chasers. So also these two guys individually have their own channel. So one of them is, I don't even want to try to say how to say this name. And then the other one here on the right-hand side. So they each have like their own channel individually about China as well. And then ADV China is another channel they have together, but more short form video, not the live streams, the long form. And then the Fact Chaser, here, I'm going to go to it because I actually forgot what they have on this channel, even though I'm subscribed to it. You know, more short form content about things that are going on in China. So I thought I would let you guys know about these things because you're like me. you used to teach, or you still do, teach people in China, and you want to keep up. And there's a lot of current events going on in China. I mean, China and Russia are thinking of teaming up. That's beyond scary if that happens. I teach history in the public school. We just finished up the Cold War, and it's almost like the Cold War a Cold War is about to happen again. China's threatening to invade Taiwan, and Russia and China are threatening the United States. So it's all about to happen again. So, keeping up with these current events will help you. All of a sudden, you won't be blindsided when we possibly have World War III or another Cold War, which very much could be happening if the United States decides to defend Taiwan. Could happen. And anyone here who doesn't know or didn't follow this channel when I was working for VIPKID, and you didn't work for VIPKID, you might not know this, but we used to get in trouble for having the wrong map. If we had a world map and we did not say that China was a part of Taiwan, or the map didn't say that, we would get in trouble. So anyways, that's all I have to say. I hope some people watch this later. I know it's early in the morning on a Saturday. Thanks for coming, Rebecca. I'm getting a phone call, so I have to go. Bye, you guys. Zaijian. That's goodbye in Chinese, if you didn't know. See you later.